Hey everybody, Detective Fun Guy here. We're back with another painting tutorial. For this, I have my Death Guard myphitic blight hauler. This is basically a demon engine for demons of chaos. Or Death Guard, I forgot. So without further ado, let's get started. First off, we're going to start off with a contrast paint. First, we're going to use Militarm Green. So, shake up your contrast paints like usual. Alright, there we go. We're going to take some Militarm Green and put on our palette. This isn't a palette, this is my table, but this is a spare table, so just don't do this on your work area. You're going to need quite a little bit. There we go, perfect. Alright, make sure the brush is emptied, or make sure there's no excess on your brush. So, basically what we're going to do is this. For this, all we're going to do is apply very gently, make sure it blushes all over the green armor. So, right here. I think I might need to switch to a better brush. Ah, there we go. Sorry about that, I had to switch to a better brush. Poke your brush around, just make sure. And just do a nice smooth coat of Militarm Green. Nice smooth coat. And I'll be right back when I finish the rest. Alright, with the Militarm Green applied, we're going to move on to the next part, which is the flesh on the back of the miniature. So, for the flesh, basically we're going to do a simple tone of Gilliman flesh. So, let's begin. So, take some Gilliman flesh, shake up our paints like so, just make sure. So what we're going to do is we opened up our pot. We're going to take some Gilliman flesh and put it on our table like so. Again, this is a spare table, so just don't do this on your random workplace. Get a good little puddle. What we're going to do is this. So what we're going to do is start doing this. We're going to apply this Gilliman flesh all over the fleshy part of the miniature, which is basically this part, these parts right here. Oops. Oh, good. You can just wipe it away. Also for the last part of Gilliman flesh, it's over here, right here on the gums right here. And also there's some flesh on the weapons right here. Where? Oh, never mind, it's right here. Alright, that's the Gilliman flesh applied. Alright, now we're going to start highlighting the green on the miniature. For this, we're going to use a dry brush. We're going to use Death Guard Green. Naturally, this is a Death Guard model, so we are going to use Death Guard Green for a highlight. Shake out the Death Guard Green. So, take some Death Guard Green. We're going to use our large dry brush. So what we're going to do, take this flat brush, and then we're going to dry brush. So what we're going to do, take most of the paint, wipe it off on the tissue, or like the paper towel, and then, stuff like that. Perfect. What we're going to do is this, make sure it's not too streaky. Perfect. What we're going to do is going to go around the miniature and start highlighting. So like this. So watch this. See? Nice little highlight effect on the green armor. This is a little bit of a heavy dry brush, but don't worry, that's completely what we want. Alright, there we go. That's the green highlighted. Alright, next part of the miniature is the bones. So for this we have the horns and the teeth. So we're going to shade them down with Seraphim Sepia. So, shake up the washes like so. Take this brush. I'm going to use this brush. Seraphim Sepia. There we go. Perfect. We're going to do, take the Seraphim Sepia and just apply this all over the bone area. So we have the horns right here. Go with the teeth. Alright, that's all the bone shaded. Alright, next part of the miniature, we're going to focus on all the bronze on the miniature. For this, we're going to use Balthazar Gold. So, check out the metallic paints like so. Or all your paints, for that matter. So, let's begin. With the Balthazar Gold shaken up, what we're going to do is going to focus on all the bronze of the miniature. So, right here, we're going to take quite a bit of Balthazar Gold. And what we're going to do is going to focus on all the bronze details. So, for right here, we're going to focus on the trim right here on the main armor, the body, and wherever the bronze trim goes. This will take a little bit, but don't worry, it will be really, really worth your time and effort. Alright, that's one part of the bronze done, and I'll be right back when all the bronze is done. Alright, with the bronze done, that's pretty much it. Alright, so with the bronze now done, we're now going to finally focus on something else, and I just got my thumb in paint. So what we're going to do is wash off our brush, like usual, wash off the brush. And with the flesh now dry, we're going to start highlighting it. So for this, we're going to take a dry brush. For this, we're going to use Kislev flesh. So, check out the paints like so. This Kislev flesh is kind of thick, well at least this batch is, even though I bought it, didn't buy it like that, but stuff happens. So take some Kislev flesh, and we're going to dry brush it. So what we're going to do, take some Kislev flesh, wipe off most of the paint like so. So what we're going to do is this. So for this, we're going to dry brush all over the skin. So for right here, we are going to do a little heavy with this dry brush. All right, there we go. That's the flesh highlighted. All right, next metallic on the miniature is the silver. So if you notice, we have the tracks, some of the teeth and stuff like so. For this, we're going to use iron hand steel. So check out the paints like so. And what we're going to do is this. There's a little bit of majority of silver on this model, so take some silver or iron hand steel, put it on the palette, and we're going to focus on all the silver details. So for like this, right here. This is going to be a lot, so do the tracks and a lot of the other stuff. This will take a while, but don't worry, just be patient, and it'll definitely pay off. I'll be right back when all the silver is done. All right, that's all the silver done. All right, with the silver now done, we're going to focus on the black parts of the miniature. For this, we're going to use Black Legion. So take a shake at the paints like so. All right, with that now done, with the Black Legion now open, we're going to switch to our small brush. The reason why I'm switching to this one is so that way we can paint the cables. So there's quite a bit of black on this miniature, especially on the back of the miniature. So what we're going to do, take some Black Legion and just paint it right here on the stinger. First, we're going to start off with the stinger on the back. And then we're going to look for cables. Basically, we're going to look for cables that are inside the monster's flesh, or demon's flesh, right here. And this is why I'm using a smaller brush, because the cables are kind of a smaller detail. Okay, make sure. Cables, I did get some on the flesh. I'll show you how to fix that in just a second. All right, that's done. All right, with the silver now base coat, we're ready to shade it. So for this, we're going to use Nolan oil. So let's begin. So take some Nolan oil. So there we go. All right, for the silver, basically what we're going to do is this. So look for all the inside parts like the gears and like so. And we're going to shade all over this with this Nolan oil. All right, I'll be right back when the silver's done. All right, with the Nolan oil out, which I still have, we're also going to shade the bronze. So for the bronze on the miniature, we're going to basically just shade all over this with the bronze. Shade all over the bronze. Normally I would use Drew Key Eye Violet to give this a nice little tattered tone, but no, I don't. But that's fine. Nolan oil works just fine. You can also use whatever wash you like, such as Reikland Flesh Shade and etc. But I'm just using Nolan oil because that's what I have. It's pretty good. All right, that's all the bronze shaded. All right, next part of the miniature, we're going to paint these parts right here. So I accidentally made the mistake of painting in bone, but don't worry, this is just, we'll show you how to fix your mistakes. So we're going to use Slanesh Gray. So take some Slanesh Gray, put it on the, take it out of the pot and put it on the palette like so. Thin it down a little bit with some water, just a little bit. Perfect. What we're going to do is going to base coat these little mandibles right here with the Slanesh Gray. If you don't have Slanesh Gray, you could use Demon Hide, which is a base coat. I'm just using Slanesh Hide because I prefer the nice pale gray purple. There we go, that's the Demon Hide base coated. Next up, there's some boils on this miniature, especially on the back. So for this, we're going to use Everland Sunset. So take some Everland Sunset. Take a little bit, put it on our palette like so. Basically what we're going to do is this. So for this, there's some blisters and boils. Now for the boils, basically, we're going to base coat with Everland Sunset. And that is pretty much it. So for right here, and look for all a bunch about other where the boils are. There's not very many on that side. There is quite a few on this side, so let's begin. There's a boil. Boil, boil, boil. Alright, that's the boils base coated. Alright, there's also some veins on this miniature on the flesh as well. So we're going to use a very little base coat of Incubi Darkness. So take some Incubi Darkness and just put it on the palette like so. What we're going to do with this, make sure it's a little thin. What we're going to do is going to base coat the veins on this miniature. So wherever you see a vein, and we're going to paint that with Incubi Darkness. This isn't black, it's Incubi Darkness. It's basically like a very dark, dark, dark green. Alright, that's the veins base coated. Alright, next part of the miniature, we're going to shade all the boils. For this, we're going to use Flesh Wash by Army Painter. So, shake up the paints like so. Well, this is a wash, but of course, shake it up like usual. So, what we're going to do, take some Flesh Wash right here. So, what we're going to do on the boils, the bumps. Also, we are also going to do this on the veins as well. Soak it up and everything like so. Alright, that's them shaded. Alright, now we're going to start doing my favorite part, the purple. So for this, we're going to take our contrast paint. We're going to use Magos Purple. So what we're going to do, check out the paint like so, and we're going to start using this part of the model. You may be wondering, why am I so excited about this? Well, you'll see why in just a second. So, with our Magos Purple open, what we're going to do is going to take, let me get a smaller brush, that's way too big. What am I thinking? Yeah, I'll have to use this one. So, what we're going to do, take some Magos Purple and put on the palette like so, or the table or whatever. So, what we're going to do, not that much, make sure there's no excess. Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to take this paint, and what we're going to do is going to base coat wherever we base coated like those mandibles. So you're going to put Magos Purple all over it. Alright, that's the mandibles painted, and now we're going to focus on the flesh. So what we're going to do, empty off the brush, and what we're going to do is going to paint this all over where the metal meets the flesh to make it look more swollen and sore. It is perfect. Perfect. Oh, that is nasty. I love it. and the store where I play Warhammer, and I never played with this model, but we have a house rule. If there's a Nurgle model that looks clean, we do not consider a Nurgle model. And this is for the god of Nurgle, so we want it as disgusting as we possibly can. Alright, there we go. That's the Magos Purple applied. Okay, quarter to last detail that we're going to do. We're going to take Evil Sun Scarlet. So for this, we're going to take this, take a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Just a little bit right here. And we're going to put this on the eye of the miniature. So for right here, where there's those the lens, eye lens right here, and also the targeting sensor right here. Alright, and that's the red details done. Alright, here's one of my other favorite parts. We're going to do a special effect to the bronze to make it look oxidized. So for this, we're going to take some Baharoth Blue. Now you could of course use Gauss Blaster Green, but I'm using Baharoth Blue because that's what I have right now. So take some Baharoth Blue. We're going to take some, put it on the pot here, make sure it's dry right here. Perfect. And we're going to thin it down almost to the point of being a glaze. Just like this. So what we're going to do is going to do this. We're going to go into the verdigris, like right here. See, take this brush. We're going to do it into the recesses of the bronze to make it look like it's oxidized. And if you look like there's too much right there, just soak it up and just dab it on the table. You could of course wipe it off, but look, this gives like a nice little oxidized effect. For right here, put it around the studs. So what we're going to do is going to run these studs right here, paint in the recesses, like so. Like nice little oxidized. You can add as much or as little as you want. I just prefer a little bit. We're also going to do this on the studs right here for the bronze on the Melty Melta. I'm not going to do too much on the Melty Melta, but there we go. Suck up the excess. Oxidation right here and the thing right here. Alright, there we go. That's the Baharoth Blue oxidized effect done. And there you have it. This is how I paint a mythic blight hauler for Death Guard. So you may notice there's some holes right here. You can just leave them blank or plain with flesh. I decided to leave them plain for the sake of the video. So I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial on Death Guard, and I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Happy painting. Bye bye.